Hi everybody, this is Jenny Kirk. Welcome along to another video here on my channel, and we've got a little bit of a montage here of all the things that we were doing previous week. We went on a little trip for a few days down to Birmingham. You might have seen a few pictures on the old Instagram, but yeah, we did a lot of interesting stuff, and we got off at New Street Station. I haven't seen it since it's all been rebuilt, and you can see it's got this very mirrored finish. Which I quite liked. It looks better in person, is all I can say. In video form, it looks a bit of a mess, but when you're actually there, it does actually look really quite nice. There's a lot of busyness there, a lot of people coming and going. And whilst Zoe was off at the conference, I spent a lot of time looking around the city. I've never really had an opportunity to do this before. And you have these preconceptions of how a city might be, but actually I found that it was a really nice place. We stayed at this lovely hotel just a little bit out from the centre, and on the way into town there was this graffiti artist actually just seen there, and then this picture is of the new Bullring Centre. It's a very peculiar building is all I can say about it. There's some more here of the graffiti that was just up from our hotel. And we actually saw the graffiti artists at work. There's a telephone booth that was in the beer garden. That's the view from our hotel window. This photo, this is the Bullring Tower. I think the only bit of the old Bullring that remains. So this is the main shopping street. Quite early in the morning, but we had a day that was really nice weather. So you can see, actually, it's quite an inspiring place. I really enjoyed my time in Birmingham, and I can well recommend going there and having a good mooch about. It was such a variety of different architecture and styles, and you had the new mingling with the old, actually quite successfully. In a lot of places you find the new buildings just look like an eyesore, but actually in Birmingham I quite like some of this brutalist architecture. But in the centre they're doing a lot of building. This is the one of the museums, and next to it to the left, is just passed out of shot, was the town hall. They're putting the tram network through here, which is one of the reasons for all the building, but there's so much being built. It reminds me of Manchester in the late 90s, early 2000s, when there was so much being built there. But then, with that building over there, this one, very peculiar, and it's a strange design. It's actually a library, and you can see here it lights up at night, and I quite like it. Normally, I'm not a big fan of this type of architecture, but it just kind of works in Birmingham. There's a lot of thought gone into this place. And there, as you can see, we've got the old Grade 1 listed stuff in amongst this. They have successfully kept a lot of things. You see, there's the town hall, the museum a bit closer, and there's this kind of square. I think it's Victoria Square from memory. And it had all these flower gardens. And it's actually a really nice place to sit and eat your lunch. And I did that a few times. Just sort of sitting on these walls and these benches and just admiring this mix of buildings. Now this is up by the cathedral. I did go up there and had a look. It's not an overstated cathedral, but I quite liked it. This is another one of the streets down in Birmingham itself. You can see there, it's on the tram lines. And there's a much more modern mix of buildings, but again, very, very tastefully done. So it all kind of fits together. There's no one building that overshadows the rest. I just really quite liked it. This was Moore Street Station. I went and had a quick peek. And then this is Chinatown. I went and had a look through, and Birmingham's big enough to have its own quite dedicated area. and I really liked it. They'd put, it's quite a modern development, but they really did have this oriental feel to it that I quite liked, with lots of restaurants, stuff like that. Not all of these were Chinese restaurants, but there was a lovely fountain in the middle, and it was quite relaxing actually, just to go and sit by this, the sound of running water. You can see there another view of the square, and then this was further out from town. There's a lot of canals around Birmingham, and then you get sort of this more brutalistic area where again, an interesting mix of buildings. I think that's a hotel. It might have been the Radisson or something like that. But you can see in the centre of this circus almost an oriental style pagoda in the middle of the roundabout, which I thought was a really nice touch. But then you've got the old tower blocks still there. But they kind of work in Birmingham. The surroundings of them isn't this horrible Clockwork Orange type wasteland. So they work. We also got this building as well, which I thought was quite interesting, a very 1960s office block. But I didn't find it too bad. You see that you've got the way through underneath it there. This was a pigeon cote that I saw on the way out to King's Heath. But this here, there weren't many protesters. I was expecting a lot more, but there was a few, and they were a bit potty-mouthed, actually, to be honest. So, I thought this particular group were somewhat offensive in what they were chanting. There was no call for that. So some of the other protesters were much more polite about it, and actually I think you get further if you're less confrontational with protesting. You're more likely to be taken seriously. Now, I'm not entirely sure what he was protesting. It was something about religion, but being the end of Brexit would be a religious holocaust or something. But if it was attention he was after, he certainly got it. This was in HMV with a life-size Wookiee, and then on the way back, I call this the Breaking Bad skies. Wonderful sunset. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and share it too, and subscribe to the channel, and you'll be the first to know about new videos as and when they go. But until next time, you take very good care of yourself. Bye for now. Works better with this case. Choo-choo. Stop it. Today's video has been brought to you in part thanks to the generous donation of my fans on Patreon. And a special huge thanks goes out to Anthony Kidson, Mark Anthony, Michael Churchwood, Mark McShane, and Bob Threeton. If you'd like to help support the show, head on over to patreon.com/Jennifer Kirk. Thank you. Today's video has been brought to you by my books, Bringing Home the Stars, Twinkle Little Star, and also you can get the complete comic collections of All Over the House, Books 1, Books 2, and also the wacky zany Life of Knob T. Mouse. Thanks, and catch you later.